New opportunity was a joke. Everyone in the galactic community knew it. Parched on the habitable edge of Kepler 186f, it was Earth's most pathetic attempt at colonization to date. The funding barely covered basic life support, let alone proper defenses. When the colony ship landed 3 years ago, half the equipment was outdated and the other half was broken. Commander Elena stood at the viewport of her cramped office, watching colonists tend to their precious hydroponic gardens. She snorted and took another swig of synthetic coffee. "Checking on your subjects, Commander?" The sarcastic voice of Dr. Chen floated from the doorway. "Just contemplating how spectacularly my career has nosedived," Elena replied, without turning around. 3 years ago, I was commanding the flagship defense station over Europa. Now I'm babysitting farmers at the ass end of nowhere. The official story was that Elena had been reassigned due to insubordination after the Jupiter incident. The unofficial story involved 3 admirals, a stolen prototype defense system, and a very angry Martian diplomat. "Governor Mills wants the monthly security assessment," Chen said, dropping a tablet on her desk. Elena laughed. "Security assessment? For what? Our overwhelming force of 50 colonists armed with gardening tools? Our fearsome defense grid of 6 outdated sentry drones? Or perhaps our terrifying orbital cannon that's actually a modified weather satellite?" New Opportunity wasn't just Earth's weakest colony, it was practically an invitation for attack. The neighboring Varaxian Dominion had been expanding aggressively for decades, conquering smaller outposts and stripping planets of resources. Intelligence suggested they'd been eyeing Kepler 186f for months. "You know," Elena continued, finally turning to face Chen, "Earth Command didn't even bother sending a proper military contingent, just me and 2 security officers who couldn't qualify for real postings." Chen shrugged. "We're an agricultural research colony. Low priority." "Low priority is generous. We're expendable." Elena gestured to the vast fields visible through the window. "Though I have to admit, you scientists had performed miracles with the local flora. The colony's sole purpose was developing crops that could grow in Kepler's unique soil composition. Nothing strategic, nothing valuable, nothing worth defending. At least that's what everyone was meant to believe. Little did the Varaxian know, this laughably weak colony was about to become their worst nightmare. The alarm blaring through New Opportunity's command center precisely 0600 colony time. Elena was already there, having slept exactly never since taking this assignment. "Report," she barked, as Lieutenant Garcia stumbled in, still pulling on his uniform jacket. "Orbital sensors have detected 4 Varaxian warships entering the system," Garcia said, his voice cracking. "They'll reach our orbit in approximately 12 hours. The command center doors slid open again as Governor Mills rushed in, followed by Dr. Chen and the colony's senior staff. Their faces displayed varying shades of panic. "It gets better," Elena said, tapping the console. "They sent a message." The screen flickered to life, revealing the scaled face of a Varaxian commander. His vertical pupils narrowed as he spoke. "Human colony of Kepler 186f. This planet and its resources are now claimed by the Varaxian Dominion. You have 1 planetary rotation to surrender. Resist, and it will result in your annihilation. Choose wisely." The message ended. Silence filled the room. "Well," Elena said dryly, "at least they're giving us time to pack." Governor Mills collapsed into a chair. "We need to evacuate immediately." "With what ships?" Elena countered. "Our only shuttle can hold 12 people max, and the next supply vessel isn't due for 3 weeks." "We should contact Earth Command," someone suggested. "Already did," Elena replied. "Help is at least 2 days away, best case scenario." The room erupted into chaos. Suggestions ranged from immediate surrender to hiding in the cave systems north of the colony. Elena watched them argue, a strange calmness settling over her features. Inside her head, a very different conversation was taking place. "This is exactly what I've been waiting for. They came right on schedule. Everything is proceeding according to plan." "Everyone quiet," she finally shouted. The room fell silent. "We're not surrendering, and we're not running." "Then what do you suggest, Commander?" Mills asked desperately. Elena's lips curled into a smile that made everyone in the room suddenly very uncomfortable.
I suggest we win." Elena stood before the assembled colonists in the main hydroponics bay, the only space large enough to hold all 50 of them. Their faces showed a mixture of fear, confusion, and desperate hope. "I know what you're thinking," Elena began. "We're screwed, completely, utterly screwed. And you're right, if we play by conventional rules." She paced in front of them, her hands clasped behind her back. "What none of you know is that before I was sent to this delightful vacation spot, I ran Black Ops for Earth Special Forces. My specialty was asymmetric warfare against technologically superior opponents." Murmurs rippled through the crowd. The Jupiter incident wasn't a diplomatic failure, it was a classified operation. 3 Centurion battleships were preparing a surprise attack on Europa. My team and I stopped them using nothing but a communication satellite, 2 mining charges, and a repurposed waste management drone. "Is that why they sent you here?" Dr. Chen asked, eyes narrowing. "As punishment?" Elena laughed. "That's what everyone was supposed to think, including the Varaxians." She nodded to Lieutenant Garcia, who activated a holographic display of the colony. The image zoomed out to show the surrounding terrain. "Dr. Chen," Elena said, turning to him, "tell them about your plants." Chen hesitated. "My research has focused on adapting Earth crops to the other research," Elena interrupted. Chen sighed. "Some of the compounds we've developed have unique properties. They can rapidly degrade certain metal alloys, disrupt electronic systems, and create localized electromagnetic disturbances. Those agricultural drones you've been using," Elena continued, "they can be reprogrammed for precision deployment of these compounds. The irrigation system? With minimal modifications, it can turn the ground around the colony into a swamp. Those atmospheric analyzers? They can scramble communications on Varaxian frequencies." The colonists exchanged looks of disbelief. "You're telling us our farming equipment can fight off 4 warships?" Governor Mills asked skeptically. "No," Elena replied. "I'm telling you our disguised military research facility can neutralize a Varaxian ground force in record time." Jaws dropped around the room. "New Opportunity never was just an agricultural colony," Elena explained. "It's a testbed for next-generation adaptive defense systems disguised as civilian infrastructure. Everything here serves dual purposes." "And you didn't think to tell us?" Mills demanded. "Need-to-know basis," Elena shrugged. "And now you need to know." She pulled up schematics of various colony systems, each transforming into something decidedly more weaponized. "So here's my absolutely terrible plan that will definitely get us all killed or save everyone in record time. We're going to let them land, and then we're going to hit them with everything we've got in ways they can possibly not anticipate." As Elena outlined the specifics, colonists began moving with newfound purpose, reconfiguring equipment, synthesizing compounds, repositioning sensors. The agricultural settlement rapidly transforming into a fortress unlike any the Varaxians had ever encountered. Captain Crystal stood on the command deck of the inevitable conquest, his 7-foot shadow casting a long shadow across the tactical display. His scaled skin glistened under the harsh lighting as he studied the pitiful human colony below. "Reports confirm minimal defenses, Captain," his second-in-command, Vornik, reported. "No orbital platforms, no planetary shield, no energy weapons detected. Their only spacecraft is a small transport shuttle currently docked at their main facility." Crystal's mouthparts clicked in what passed for a Varaxian smile. Typical human overextension. They claim territories they cannot defend. The Varaxian Dominion had conquered 12 systems in the past solar cycle alone. Their efficient military machine had reduced far more impressive colonies than this one to smoldering ruins. Their advanced weaponry and battle-hardened soldiers had made short work of frontier outposts. "How many human life forms?" Crystal asked. "Scans indicate approximately 50, Vornik replied, "mostly scientists and agricultural workers." Crystal laughed, a grating sound like rocks in a grinder. "They send farmers to hold worlds? It's almost insulting." Around the tactical table, his officers, veterans of dozens of conquests, chuckled in agreement. The Varaxian military had a reputation for overwhelming force and ruthless efficiency. Their standard procedure was well established: land troops in force, neutralize any resistance, secure critical infrastructure, and begin resource extraction. "Prepared 200 ground troops," Crystal ordered. "Standard conquest formation." "Captain," his tactical officer interjected. With respect, 200 seems excessive for 50 unarmed humans. The Dominion takes no chances, Crystal replied sharply, and I do not leave tasks unfinished. He studied the colony layout once more. Nothing remarkable. Living quarters, research facilities, agricultural domes and fields. No bunkers, no weapon emplantments. This will be the most efficient conquest in our records, Crystal predicted confidently. I expect complete control within 1 planetary hour. If only he knew. The colony hummed with controlled chaos as colonists executed Elena's plan. Agricultural drones were being retrofitted with spray mechanisms, irrigation systems rerouted, and atmospheric sensors recalibrated to new frequencies. Elena stood in the command center, watching multiple screens showing different aspects of their preparations.